So, you want to hear a story, huh? One about treasure hunters. Have I got a story for you?
What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again, and we have a ton of drama we've been dealing with. So I had intended to release some stuff this week, which was a couple Forerunner structures being made by Amadeus, a new member of the Operation Trebuchet dev team. Amadeus, he's got some pretty cool Forerunner structures. Unfortunately, this week, that has been completely overshadowed by a ton of drama, a lot of he said, she said stuff going on. And I've tried my best to be kind of an intermediary and also try and stay unbiased as I can in this situation. Unfortunately, I don't quite have all the facts because some of this happened behind closed doors in internal dev chats, stuff like that, so I don't see everything that was said by all parties, unfortunately. So for those of you who know what's going on, you already know what I'm referring to, but for those of you who maybe don't follow the Operation Trebuchet Discord or you haven't seen on Steam, basically what's happened is 8880 was told he had to pull his assets. And this was apparently told by the Sins of the Prophets devs. However, that was not true. As it turns out, Zero had actually lied about the reasoning. He was trying to avoid a confrontation after I'd spoken to him, at least that's what he had told me. And he was basically leaving the mod over disagreements of both how the mod was run and how he felt he was treated poorly. He took the models away as more of a personal choice, disagreeing with how the mod was being ran and how once again his treatment was conducted, and that's why he took his models with him. So there was some back and forth with the Operation Trebuchet dev team and Sins of the Prophets, which is what was originally thought to be forcing 880 to take his stuff with him, or Zero. And so you guys may have also seen something from them, and I'm posting that on the screen, which is basically saying that why Zero left, how they were not forcing anything, and that Sins of the Prophet had basically no control over what was going on. There was no conspiracy, anything like that. So Operation Trebuchet dev team Scorch and them, they updated their chat accordingly. Now, with that being said, it did not end there. So to start off, let's talk about the assets being removed. So there is a lot of assets that's being lost for the mod. Firstly, we have the MA5 series assault rifles, the 5A, B, and C, the M7 SMG, the M6C and G handguns, the M41 rocket launcher, the frag grenades, smoke grenades, emergency flare, long swords, all models of the frigate. That includes the static models for the exterior ones, as well as the one with the modular interior, the traffic cone, the portable generator, and the resupply pods. So obviously this would have a massive effect on the mod. The Operation Trebuchet dev team has basically said they plan on trying to change class names and try and keep that to offset the impact of the removal of these assets by replacing the assault rifles with MA37s until the actual replacements can be implemented. And so on and so forth. And so hopefully this won't impact most of you guys too much. I do suggest that if you want to keep these assets playable, make a hard copy backup. I'm not sure if the previous versions of the mod will be available through things like Armaholic or ModDB, but I would just be on the safe side and get a manual download for it now, or a copy of it before that stuff gets removed. Having spoken to Zero's and his side, his project that he's got going on, which I'll get more into in a bit, they had told the Operation Trebuchet team that the assets were being removed back in January, and apparently they asked for them to be removed by the end of February. They said that if they needed longer, they could, but that they wanted them out by February if possible. So as of right now, the assets are still in, and it sounds like the Operation Trebuchet devs team is intent on trying to remove them by the end of this month. I'm not really sure. That's just a public statement that was made, as somebody said they wanted to have the weapon trying done by the end of March here. So I don't know if that's their intent to try and finish it by this month. To to those of you who are going to be angry that Zero is removing his content, you know, from a community perspective and stuff, I do think that hurts the community. I will say that. It's frustrating to see, but at the same time, this is it's not his first time removing content. He did so in the Ardanis insurrection, but he's not the only one who did that either. In fact, if you look, the Dog, Scorch, Indoor Bradster, and others all removed and revoked access of their content to the Ardanis insurrection for what they felt was apparently similar reasons to what Zero's felt under Operation Trebuchet. So, I mean, it seems to me fairly justifiable by that token, then, that he is removing and revoking access to his content by that standard. It is, like I said, sad to see, and as a community perspective on it, as somebody who's outside of either dev team or either party, you know, it is frustrating as a community member to see that sort of thing happen, but I get where he's coming from on that. So to offset that, and in response to that, the Operation Trebuchet team provided an image dump of a bunch of new assets they're working on. We've got a new beam rifle from Drake Darren. We've got some more of the structures we already showed off from Indoor Bradster. The M6C being worked on by Jedi Nick. We've got the Spade by HK Urban. We've got some more structures, stuff like that. The M6G is being worked on by Bacon Shelf. Scorch is working on the M41. We've got a Shade Turret by Drake Darren, and help from Indoor Bradster on that one. You know, and so the first contact stuff's already in game, and then we eventually got work in progress MA5 and M7 from Zephyr Souza and Phoenix, respectively. So then, more drama unfortunately came of this as of this morning. So about 2 o'clock or so this morning, Hapless Operator, who's a member of a separate development team under Zero, or alongside Zero, I should say, he ended up actually going through and looking at the models and drew several comparisons to Zephyr Souza's model to the exact same features that aren't on the standard assault rifle, things that Zero added to his variants that don't exist in others on the model Zephyr's using, and it does appear to be a one-to-one copy of Zero's assault rifle. It seems exact. I mean, it looks really hard to deny to me. You know, and there's a similar situation going on with the SMG. The SMG looks a little bit different, but with a couple modifications, namely hiding the rail system for the SMG and deleting a segment of the stock and shortening that up. It does appear to be the same as the one Immortal Phoenix is working on. So there is some drama ongoing with that. The dev team responded, and I'm not sure if I understand this quite correctly, but basically said that they are using Zero's model as a basis and trying to model one-to-one to that. I mean, with the similarities, it does seem a little bit much. That seems a little bit difficult to believe that's what's happening. Especially with the speed at which the assault rifle was made. I mean, despite how long the dev team has known and that they've had a lot of time to work on this replacement, I feel like it maybe was more so a recent addition with the speed at which some of these images and stuff are coming out. So I don't know if it's ripped or not, but there certainly seem, or I shouldn't say ripped, but taken from Zero's asset, and using Zero's asset does seem to be a strong possibility. The Dog, you know, he's got his M41 that is modeled up from the ground, I will say that. You know, and then there was accusations made that the Spartans in the mod were taken from Installation 01, and I went and looked up Installation 01, and I got in contact with one of their lead developers over there. I spoke with him, and because there is very strong similarities to the Optrace Spartans and, once again, the Installation 01 Spartans, and these similarities aren't shared with actual canon Spartans from either the games or concept art, so I did reach out to them just to see what their take was on that, and they said that you know, the Spartans were in fact created by the Operation Trebuchet dev team, wholly and fully in that sense. So, you know, take away from that what you will. You know, I just, like I said, I want to try and stay neutral as I can in this situation. Try and possibly stay in everybody's good graces as much as I can in this sort of situation, especially when I'm the guy kind of talking about it, and try and avoid take sides. But there is, I would say, genuine concerns over that models, the stuff that's in there. There's definitely a lot of sour people. Hapless Operator, who brought up the initial concern, was also part of the same development team as Shadow and a number of others, with Zero on a new Operation Trebuchet competitor, which hasn't been announced yet. And he was the one who did point out the similarities between the models. He's since been banned from the Operation Trebuchet Discord. I'm assuming under the premise that he was kind of stirring things up over there. Likewise, Tim, who made UNSC Extended Arsenal, he was, you know, posting memes about Operation Trebuchet, and he's gotten himself banned as well. But, you know, there is also really the reaction to these models being so similar. It does look like they are using Zero's models, which I would say is, you know, even if they're just using like an almost direct copy, making it from scratch, it's probably not a good decision given that he did ask all of his models be pulled. There's a lot of available resources to base a completely brand new model, the MA5, B, and C, and whatever else off of, to make your own copy of that. So, you know, as it stands though, guys, I'm going to leave that all there. You know, as all this stuff goes on, I will try to keep you guys up to date and let you know what's going on with that as the situation unfolds. Other than that, guys, take it easy. I'll see you in the next video.